Very good morning to my dear students. How are you, my children? I hope you are all fine and following the videos, and you have been following to the running notes part also, I think. Now, in the previous class, we have completed the lesson portion. So, what we have learnt about the importance of pollination, types of pollinators, and what is the relation between plants, that is flowers, and pollinators. And we learnt about if the pollinators have been extincted, there will be a great damage to the generation of new plants as well as the supply of food products also. These are all the things we have learnt in the previous class. So, at the end of the lesson now, today we are going to write down the hard words, or I can say new words. Before that, all of you go through page number 5 of your studio book. Pretty with a purpose, that is our first lesson. Go to the page number 5 of studio book. And I am going to read the lesson portion simultaneously. I will ask you to highlight some words which will be comes under hard words or new words, or we can also say some keywords of this lesson. Okay, my dear children, are you ready? Very good. Open page number 5. Flowers are usually colorful and the most attractive part of a plant. You can highlight attractive. Attractive. I will write down the words at the end. Okay. So I will write down the words simultaneously also, so that it will be very useful to you. Hard words, or I can say new words, anything. Okay. So first word I said is attractive. 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 Next, we see flowers of various shapes and colors around us. Flowers also have a variety of smells. Plants that bear flowers are called flowering plants. Flowering plants. See, I will show you that how to highlight with the help of the marker. See, at the time of purchasing books in the bookstore, you are given two color of highlighters, two color of markers, isn't it? So, with the help of one color, you can highlight this word, just as I show you here. You see flowering, you can see how I highlighted with the help of that color, mango, jasmine, neem. Isn't it? The same way you have to highlight it. Okay, my dear students, attractive or no? Next, plants that bear flowers are called flowering plants. You highlight flowering also. Flowering plants. Highlight these two words. Flowering plants. Like mango, highlight mango, chino from over the years, and jasmine. This flower used to have very good fragrance. Jasmine, neem. Highlight the neem also, and rose are a few examples of flowering plants. Plants that do not bear flowers are called non-flowering plants. Already we have written flowering, no need of that again. Now, pine trees. So you can take out one more new word here, pine. Pine trees. Highlight the pine trees. Very good. And ferns. FERNS, ferns. I said this both comes under, yes, non-flowering plants. Flowering plants usually reproduce. Underline the reproduce also. We can add that as a new word. Which one? Seventh one. Reproduce. You highlight them. After highlighting all them, then you can write down this in your running notes as the hard words. No need of worry. Or simultaneously you can write down. Highlight in the studio book as well as write down in the running notes. But okay. Next. Reproduce by making seeds. Seeds that germinate. can use the word germinate here. Germinate. Okay. Germinate and grow into new plants. Let us learn about the different parts of a flower. The main parts of a typical. You can add this word. You have to highlight this word in your book. And this will be our hard word also, new word. Typical. Typical flower and their functions are shown in the figure 1. The next figure you can see. Here we can have plenty of new words. These are all new words, isn't it? Yes. First one is carpel. Highlight the carpel word in the studio book as well as you note it down in your book also. Carpel. Next. It is usually located in the center of the flower. A flower have one or more carpels. Each carpel is made up of 3 parts. A sticky tip called stigma. Underline this, highlight this word also. Stigma. And a slender tube. You can write down the slender. And a slender tube called style. Slender tube called style. That connects the stigma, we already written stigma, to a spherical structure called ovary. So highlight the word ovary also. And this ovary contains ovules. Ovary contains ovules. Ovary contains ovules. Okay, my dear students. Next comes sepals and stalk. These 2 words also you can add as hard words. Sepals. Stalk. The forms, sepals are special type of leaves that forms a ring around the petals. These are the new word from this lesson. Petals. They protect the flower while it is still a bud. They are usually green or brown in color and the stalk connects the flower to the stem. Stamen. Next word is stamen. Stamen. Stamens are usually found just inside the petals and this is a male part of the flower. Most flowers have more than one stamen. They make fine yellow grains called pollen. Okay, my dear students. So you have to note down these hard words in your running notes part or CW part, whatever you are using for our science subject. Okay, so I am going to wrapping out these words. Here I can fill some more words. And each stamen has 2 parts. The anther. This is one more new word, anther, which is a sac-like structure to hold the pollen. And it also consists of one more part called stalk-like filament. Stalk already mentioned, no? So that I can use filament. So you have to highlight filament also. Okay? Filament that connects the anther to the flower. And next coming to petals. Petals are the most visible, brightly colored part of a flower. They are often fragrant. You my dear students? And then comes nectary. You can write this word also, new one. Nectary is one more part of the flower which is usually present deep inside the flower portion and it produces a sweet substance called nectar. Okay, so you have to underline the nectar part also. Next comes, for the seeds to form into a plant, the pollen in a flower has to reach the ovary. The transfer of pollen from the stamen to the carpel is called pollination. Okay, my dear students. And during the process of the pollination, the pollen from the stamen lands on the sticky stigma of a flower. It travels down the style of the carpel and into the ovary and joins with an ovule. And this process is called fertilization. So this is one more word to be added out. Fertilization. Okay. The ovules that are fertilized by the pollen develops into the seeds and the ovary finally develops into the fruit. The sepals close up to protect the growing ovary and the petals slowly dry up and fall away. Hence, the role of flowers in a plant is to produce the fruit to protect the seeds. Seeds make new plants. These plants in turn produce fruits with seeds that continue the life cycle in plants. Okay. Now go to page number 13. Animals and plants are dependent on each other. Are you following, hello, my dear students? When I'm reading, you have to keep your index finger the portion where it was going on by me. So what portion I'm reading, you have to show with the help of your index finger. Okay. Animals and plants are dependent on each other for a variety of purposes. For example, insects feed on the sweet nectar that is found inside the flowers. As they hover around the flowers to take a drink of the nectar, the pollen from the anchor sticks to the legs or other parts of their body. Pollen then fall off the insect onto the sticky stigma of the flower. This may be the stigma of the same flower or another flower also, where I said cross pollination. If the transfer of pollen takes place from stamen to carpel or ovary of the same flower, it is called self pollination. If one, that is pollen from stigma of one flower transfers to the sorry my dear students, if pollen transferred from anther of one flower, okay, to the stigma of another flower, then it is said to be called cross pollination, which we learnt in higher classes. Okay, pollination is the first step in the plant reproduction. Okay, flowers use their colorful petals, fragrance, and nectar to attract the insects towards themselves. Living things and non-living things acts as agents of pollination called as pollinators. Okay, my dear students, pollinators. Insects such as bees, butterflies, you highlight, my dear students, and you can also read moths, uh, and beetles. Pollinate the flowers. Not only this, some bats, birds, lizards, small rats, and even the humans can be pollinators. Okay, my dear students. Now come to page number 15. There is a large variety of flowers and pollinators in nature. Flowers have many features that help them attract the pollinators. A pollinator may choose to visit a flower for several reasons, including its appearance, smell, or the time at which it blooms. Which it blooms. Okay, my dear students. Now come to next page number 16. Let us learn about the preference of a few pollinators. Bees generally visit yellow, blue or purple colored flowers, and these flowers have some special markings to land for the bees. Flies usually visit the flowers that are dull red or brown in color and have a strong foul odor. Odor inside smell. Strong foul odor. They approach the flower thinking it is a rotting meat. They think it is a smell from the spoiling meat. Birds generally prefer flowers that tube-like in structure, making it easier them to drink the nectar using their beaks. Moths usually prefer flowers with light-colored petals and strong sweet smells. When come to bats, bats generally pollinate flowers of desert plants or the tall trees in the forest regions. These flowers are usually white, have strong fruity smells, and it blooms at night. On the day I said you in that video, bats are nocturnal animals because they use it to move around for food or hunting, whatever it may be, takes place in the dark part, that is after the evening portion. So once one evening completed, that is when sunset takes place, use it to have witnessed that part of night part. So when it is dark only, these animals will move around for hunting or searching for food or whatever it may be. Wind is also a pollinator. It is usually help the plants to pollinate lighter plants such as grasses and wheat. The flowers of these plants are usually neither brightly colored nor fragrant. Okay, next come to page number 18, all of you. Very good. Pollination followed by the fertilization is one of the most common ways by which the flowering plants reproduce. Once seeds form after fertilization, they are dispersed through agents of dispersal. We have learnt about some of the agents in the previous grades. Okay, the pollination of plants plays an important role in human life. If pollination doesn't occur, plants will not be able to make seeds and more plants cannot grow from them. If there are no pollinators around, flowers may simply dry up and fall off from a plant, thus halting the production of fruits. Hence, pollination is essential, means very important for the farmers to be able to produce various foods that we obtain from plants. Okay, let's go to page number 20, last part of the lesson. Plants are dependent on animals such as bees, butterflies, moths. For what? Pollination. The first step in the process of reproduction. So anyone can ask you, what is the first step in the process of reproduction in plants? That is pollination. Very good. Plants are the living things that provide us with so many varieties of necessities, and they ask for very little in return to support them in the process of reproduction. It is very important that we do not interrupt, that is break, the process of pollination in any way. Protecting the plants and pollinators is also important for us to get a continuous supply of food from plants. All the animals that we share this world with, share this world with need plants for food, shelter, and various other purposes. If we are thoughtful of how we interact with nature, we can protect the plants from animals. Sorry, we can protect the animals, plants, and other living things around us. Okay, my dear students. And then your companion 1C project time, which you already completed in the previous video. And at the end part you're having, now I can describe how plants and animals depend on each other. Can you describe or not? How plants and animals depend on each other? Are they dependent or non-dependent? Yes, dependent. That means you can able to describe or not? Yes. Then you can put a tick mark here. You can put a tick mark here. This column, right? Now, next one. Explain why we must take care of plants and pollinators. Sir, is it required to take care of plants and pollinators? Yes or no? Yes. Just now we discussed about if pollination doesn't take place, flowers dry up, there will be no generation of seeds and fruits, there will be no upcoming new coming plants, and it doesn't have a proper supply of food chain, that is food products. So you can put also tick mark. Okay, my dear students. So up to this portion, we have completed the lesson part in the previous one. Now today we are going to write the concept map. One interesting concept map is given here. It's a very interesting one. I will show you the concept map in page number 21. You can see in your textbooks, that is a studio book. So in a studio book, go to page number 21. Yes, very good. Now we are going to fill out what blanks were given. Children, I hope you already completed writing these new hard words. You have to highlight all these words in your studio book. Now, my dear students, come to the first two boxes were given, which consisting of blanks. We have to fill it down. Parts for reproduction. What are the parts for reproduction? Think of. First one. You're given blank left now. First blank. Yes, we can fill out stamens. Stamen is the dash part of a flower. Yes, it is a male part of a flower. Very good. And he has given the next one itself. Third blank. What is third blank given? Dash consists of filament. So you can write down here. Dash consists of filament and dash. So what we can write? Yes, we can write is stamens. Again, stamens you can write here. Stamens consists of filament So in order to avoid confusion, I am going to write down what was given in the textbook part also. Okay, my dear students? It consists of filament and one more dash given here. What you can write there? Anther. Okay? Next. Carpel. Carpel is the, yes, female part of a flower. Carpel consists of dash, comma, again dash, comma, ovary, comma, ovules. So what does carpel consist of? Yes, three parts we discussed earlier. Carpel consists of style, tube-like structure, and it also consists of sticky tip called stigma. Spherical structure called ovary, which contains ovules. Okay, my dear students? Your petals already given. So these are the blanks to be filled by us. Okay? So I hope you have completed writing down this portion. I will go to the next table part. Now come to the next table. It belongs to the process of reproduction. They are given three important processes of main stages also: pollination, followed by fertilization, followed by seed dispersal. Seed dispersal. What is asking? Aided by wind and animals such as bees and dash 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 dash. So pollination as well as seed dispersal, these two can be done by so many agents of seed dispersal and pollinators. We have to write down the list of some names there. Okay, so I'm writing in the blanks portion there. Table 2, process of reproduction. Okay, for this, what is asked in the blanks portion, I am going to fill it you. Okay, my dear students, note it down. So I am writing in the blanks portion. What should come? Butterflies. We have to write about the pollinators and agents of seed dispersal. Both we can write. Moths, good pollinators. Beetles. And you can also write birds. And humans. You can also add humans to this list. You can add, if you want, you can add some more words. I will show you how I have represented these in the blanks part. See. Are you observed here? Butterflies, moths, beetles, birds, humans. Okay. Children, if you are unable to copy out down from the blackboard, no need to worry. We will take the photographs of this notes part and will send to your WhatsApp numbers. Okay. Complete the writing there. Okay, my dear students, I hope you have completed this. Now turn to your next page. There you are given a heading called glossary, where in this glossary part, he has given the list of all the words which are connected to this lesson portion, most important words. This comes under new words, isn't it? So you have to go through that. These all the words and their functions were explained by me in detail in the previous videos. So you just go through this portion and you have to read some 2 or 3 times. Okay, this glossary part, I will show you this glossary part. Page number 22. Okay, this you have to read 2 or 3 times. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Now, come to the part of question time. Question time. First portion we have choose the correct answers. Choose the correct answer. Choose the correct answer. In that first one, I will read the question and the options, then we'll fit out the proper one. What is pollination? Do you remember? As what is pollination? The transfer of pollen from anther or stamen, you can say anything, to stigma or carpel of a flower is said to be called pollination. Now let's check out where we have this option. A. The transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma. Yes, that is called pollination. So for first one, what is the answer you can write? Option A. You can put a tick mark for A. If this is A option, no? You can put a tick mark. Or you can write at the end of the question part, you can write it as A. Anything you can do. Select any method of writing. Okay. Now, number 2. Which group has the best agents of pollination? Which group has the best agents of pollination? A. Fire, insects, wind. Fire is not a good agent of pollination. So you can remove it out. B. Animals, water, fire. Again, fire is just to remove that option. C. Wind, birds, insects. Yes, this is the best pair I feel. Let's go to the fourth one, then we come to third one. Wind, water, animals. So when we compare to this, we can choose out wind, birds and insects. That is option C. Okay, my dear students. My dear students, complete these two parts. Now let's come to question number 3. That is objective part. Where is an ovule found in a flower? Recall about ovule? Yes, ovule is found in which part of the flower? That is carpel. Carpel consisting of 3 parts: stigma, style, ovary, and in ovary what is present? Ovule. So if we check out the options. Whether he has given ovary means you will put the tick part as ovary. Otherwise, yes. Or you can say carpel. Let's check out. Where is an ovule found in a flower? Petals? No. Style? No. C. Ovary? Yes. D. Filament. So you can fit the proper option as ovary. So ovule is present in ovary. So my dear students, in the next class part, we will discuss about blanks as well as some short answer and long answer type of questions in the next part of the video. Okay, my dear students. Till then, bye.